May 10th, 2021. White House Chief of Staff Ron Klain says that while President Joe Biden will likely seek re-election in 2024, the Biden administration is anticipating a bruising general election matchup if former President Donald Trump decides to run again. Trump has yet to acknowledge the results of the 2020 election as legitimate, but told the Daily Wire last week that people are going to be happy when he makes an announcement.
I'm absolutely enthused. I look forward to doing an announcement at the right time. As you know, it's very early, but I think people are going to be very, very happy when I make a certain announcement. And, you know, for campaign finance reasons, you really can't do it too early because it becomes a whole different thing. Otherwise, I'd give you an answer that I think you'd be very happy with. But so we are looking at that very, very seriously, and all I say is stay tuned.
COVID-19 cases and deaths have been hitting records every 2 or 3 days in India. Deaths rose by more than 4,000 for a second consecutive day this past Sunday. Many Indian states have imposed strict lockdowns over the past month, while others have announced restrictions on public movement and shut down cinemas, restaurants, pubs, and shopping malls. Pressure is now mounting on Prime Minister Narendra Modi to announce a nationwide lockdown as it did during the first wave last year.
In a country where 18% of the world population lives, we averted a major tragedy by effectively controlling the coronavirus. We saved mankind from a big disaster by saving our citizens from the pandemic.
Hundreds of Palestinian protesters and 9 police officers were injured throughout Monday morning in fierce clashes on Jerusalem's Temple Mount, according to medical officials and police. The Palestinian Red Crescent reported that 278 people were hurt in the confrontation between Palestinians and police, as the latter burst onto the Temple Mount and into the Al-Aqsa Mosque. Around 305 Palestinians were hospitalized, of whom 7 were in serious condition, the First Aid Organization reported. 9 police officers were injured, including 1 who required hospitalization, police authorities confirmed. One of the nation's largest pipelines, which carries refined gasoline and jet fuel from Texas up the East Coast to New York, was forced to shut down after being hit by a ransomware in a vivid demonstration of the vulnerability of energy infrastructure to cyberattacks. The operator of the system, Colonial Pipeline, said in a vaguely worded statement late Friday that it had shut down its 5,500 miles of pipeline, which it says carries 45% of the East Coast fuel supplies. On Saturday, the FBI, the Energy Department, and the White House delved into the details. Colonial Pipeline acknowledged that its corporate computer networks had been hit by a ransomware attack in which criminal groups hold data hostage until the victim pays a ransom. A shooting at a South Florida shopping mall that was sparked by a fight between 2 groups of people sent panicked shoppers fleeing and left 3 persons injured Saturday afternoon. Police said 2 groups of people had begun fighting before it escalated to gunfire. One individual in one group proceeded to produce a gun, and an individual in the other group also drew and fired that weapon. Police said 3 wounded were taken to hospitals, but their injuries were not life-threatening.
Just 2 big bangs. These are big bangs, and then you could just hear people moving and running. And like I said, it happened very quickly. You heard the noise, and then all of a sudden, the staff of the store just shut their gates, locked the door, and everybody just started moving to the back. You know, they just kept letting us know that it's going to take some time, and that they were looking for certain people, and they were very well versed and informed, and they kept communicating with us very well. Yeah. Grateful to be alive. Glad our kids weren't here.
A triple shooting in Times Square this weekend prompted a clash among New York City mayoral candidates over how to tackle spiking rates of gun violence. Near the scene where a 4-year-old girl and 2 women were shot, Andrew Yang denounced the movement to defund the police on Sunday.
The truth is that New York City cannot afford to defund the police. My fellow New Yorkers, if there's one thing I want to say to you, it is this. Nothing works in our city without public safety. And for public safety, we need the police.
Brooklyn Borough President Eric Adams, who has focused intently on the increase in shootings, made his own appearance in Times Square and denounced Andrew Yang as a latecomer to the issues.
For Andrew Yang to stand here and all of a sudden realize this threat in our city. And why? Because of what he stated. This happened blocks from my house. Well, you know what, Andrew? These shootings have been happening blocks from my house for years.